Hey, Steve Riley, welcome to this episode of Great Practice, Great Life. And I am here today with attorney Shannon Sagan. We were just talking about his use of the My Great Life Focus, the Daily Focuser, his new podcast. But the primary reason he's here today is to talk about the power of niching. So, with that, Shannon, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Steve. It's good to see you. It's been a couple of years, but glad we were able to catch up on this.
I know it's been a few years, but you look good. Like I said, you're looking spiffy. I like the
Trying.
new haircut. I like the new look. I like the podcast studio you got happening behind you. For the people that are watching us on YouTube, it's pretty cool. So there'll be people checking it out on YouTube more likely to see your old podcast studio. So well done, man. Very well done.
Thank you. It's all 90s themed. So everything I kind of grew up with in the 90s between the Nintendo 64, you can see the boom box in the background with the cassette tapes. And then you can't see it over here, but I have a payphone and flip cell phones and beepers. So very
You do,
nostalgic.
you do have quite the collection.
Kind of like what you have in the background
Yeah.
behind yours. You got that's like an old school computer, huh? I love it.
Yeah, that is the classic Apple Mac. That's the Macintosh #1
Yeah.
or B1. So yeah, that's right behind me just to kind of keep it was fun to put it there when we start doing the growth AI class, but now I may have to replace it with something else. But but let's talk about your practice. Where do you practice? And then let's talk about your niche.
So always personal injury, plaintiff's personal injury. I am in Palm Beach County, a little bit south of you. And I've got a main office in Palm Springs with a small satellite location out in a tiny little farm town called Belle Glade. Um, been at it for a little over 20 years. I've been in the personal injury space for 26, 27. I actually worked for a defense firm up in Orlando back when I was in UCF. I've seen both sides of how this works. And I've been on my own over 17 years now, solo practitioner with just a small amount of staff. That's how I've always liked it. That's how I've always envisioned it. And that's probably how it'll stay for good.
Got it. I mean, that's the cool thing about being a practitioner. You get to design that great practice and great life the way you want it to work for you. So whether it's a massive firm or like you said, I've got a good team. I like my team. I like to specialize, and this is what I like to do. Now, let's talk about that further because there's a lot of competition in the PI world. Lots of competition. I cannot go down the street without seeing a Morgan & Morgan billboard and then 4 other billboards behind it of local lawyers or statewide lawyers. Everywhere I turn, there's another PI billboard. It's got to be the same thing for you in Palm Beach.
Yeah, we've got the Steinger and Greens, which I think are making their way up to your neck of the woods or have. Andajar, Gordon and Associates. A lot of the firms that are up in your way now, they all started here. Palm Beach County always had a pretty heavy presence of very, very wealthy law firms, and about 3 of them always started off with the billboard, the radio, the TV ads from the beginning, which is why they were able to catapult themselves so large.
Do you do the dash cam on the front and the back of the car?
So it depends. The dash cams that I was testing out at first and the ones that I give away currently for free, they view the front of the car. And even though you can't see what happens from behind, they're still going to get a good amount of what happened if you're not at fault. So if someone says they had a green light, you had a green light, that's going to show it. If you're T-boned, even though you may not see the car T-boning you, you're going to see the car getting pushed. There's certain times where liability from behind is disputed, and the front view is still going to help you out. However, ideally, the best scenario is to have cameras that face front and rear. And so that's what I have now in my wife's car. We want to make sure we're protected from the front and from the rear, and you can see and hear everything.
Got it. So for you, front and back is preferred, but at least have something front. So at least you have that part protected, and then your assumptions hit somebody hits the side or behind, at least the evidence that's being shown on the front dash cam is supportive of your claim, basically.
Yes. The problem with the front and rear for some people is most people don't know how to install that rear camera. It's not that hard, but most people don't know how to do that. So I just tell them to make it easier, just make sure you at least have something front facing, and just get it in your car and get it running. That you have no idea how many people I've given dash cams to, and it's still sitting on the, the floor because they're intimidated about how to set it up, and it's really not that hard. And a little item like that, even if you paid for one, say $100, could save you potentially thousands in insurance claims.
In thinking about niching, uh, what recommendations would you make to other lawyers about how to come up with the idea of niching? Because in your case, you thought about it for a while, you were trying to find a niche, you're looking at your dash cam, and boom, it hits you at that moment. Other advice would you give to other lawyers about thinking about niching or niching their practice?
I would say it's got to be something that you're passionate about. I was passionate about dash cams because, like I said, I was one of the first people to have them in my cars. I just didn't realize I could have created something with this. It took me a while to do that, but I was spending time on ChatGPT. I mean, I'm a big fan of ChatGPT to help you come up with ideas as well. But it's kind of got to be something that's catchy, different than what the big firms are doing. Again, contingency, no recovery, no fee, we fight for you. All that stuff, that's old, in my opinion. And I know people are still doing it, but I see these, I pay attention to every single billboard I drive by. I'm not on TV much, but any lawyer advertising I see, I'm paying attention to that. So I know what to do, what not to do. And I feel like the majority are just following each other with saying the same things. And as me as a consumer, I try to separate myself from the lawyer part. It just sounds boring and the same and tired. Um, so I think you need to find something that you're passionate about because it is going to take a while to get it up and running and get it going. But dash cams, again, something I've always enjoyed. I love electronics, always had them in my car. And so I light up when I talk about dash cams. And I'm just so happy I came up with this idea because I just felt for years, where's my place? I'm everyone likes me. I'm a good lawyer. I'm getting in business, but I just feel like I don't have that differentiator.
Talk to everybody for a minute about what the Miracle Morning book is about.
Miracle Morning, Hal Elrod, I believe, is the author, and apparently he had cancer and almost died. But basically, what he did, and it's been a few years since I've read it, but he went and looked at the top, say, millionaires, billionaires, whatever it is, and looked at all the rituals that they did in the morning. And he just decided to combine all of them into a one morning routine. And of course, you can deviate, just like with Profit First. I get the general idea, but I'll deviate to my own benefit. Miracle Morning, you can deviate off of that as well. So basically, I get up at 5:30 in the morning. I do I have a red light panel. So I do some red light. I jump in my cold plunge, and then I will do journaling. I'll plan my day out. I will read 10 minutes to 15 minutes of a book, diary, and then I do a vision board. And that's kind of how I get my day started before my kids get up and I have to take them to school. Um, and I have already accomplished a bunch of things. The cold plunge is a psychological as well as a physical thing. So I've already accomplished something hard that day, which feels good to start the day off doing that. And I found the Miracle Morning gets you in a really good habit of getting your day started and not being in a rush of, you know, it's 6:30. My kid's got to be at school at 7:15 and getting up right away, hauling ass, trying to figure out what you're going to wear. Whereas if you get up earlier, I'm not a morning person, but you get up earlier, get it done, you feel good.